Okay, so this is the wee seat attachment, all right. So just make sure that you put the handles on the wrong way, because sometimes this is the first mistake people make, is that they have them curving in, okay. The way I do it is, you always keep this sort of big nut to the back of the board, okay. So that means make sure you do one of each side then with the handles curving out, all right. So you've got the nuts and bolts for the seat, okay. So my suggestion is, before you really tighten down each of the bolts, you put them all loosely in first, so you can still sort of move the seat when you're putting the bolts in, okay. So that's the way that works, okay. So put them in first loosely, and then once you have them all threaded and synced up, then you can really tighten them up, all right. Now, you will have your two sort of nuts and bolts here for the handles here, okay. And then you've got your main big bolt, which has a thread on the end, but it's mostly plain on the center, okay. Now, the way that we do it is that we put a metal washer to this side, okay. And then we put a metal washer in here, and then the two rubber grommets, okay, or the two rubber washers. So the way we do it is the bolt washer through the bar, or through the wee attachment here, and then the metal washer. You can hardly see it there, but there is a metal washer at this side, and then the rubber washers, okay, and tighten that up. And then what we like to do is even put a wee bit of WD-40 here, just to make it a bit more slippy for the nut and the washer to slip past each other, okay. If you don't have WD-40 or any oil, what you can do is a bit of fairy liquid on there, and that'll just ease up that joint then a wee bit, but tighten it up well, and that's really it. Now, some people get confused with the wee flag pole. It doesn't really say well in the instructions, but this is a wee flag pole here, and the way it attaches on just as when you're putting the nut on there on the underside of the seat, that just tightens up there really. So that there's really it, and that there is the main thing really. So that's the flagpole, just the seat, the nuts and nuts here. Now, sometimes the metal on the actual arm here can be quite wide, all right, so sometimes we have to bend it in slightly just to make those just fit a wee bit nicer. It's just because when this here has been welded, the heat sometimes expands that out a wee bit, but sometimes you just have to push it in slightly just to make that a wee bit more comfortable to go in there, over this. But just make sure that you have this big nut to the back, and then you can put those handles flaring out this way, because what happens if you flare them in the wrong way, basically it's harder to sit in the wee seat attachment there. And basically that there is really it. All right.